I'm Gabriel Nathan. I'm the suicide awareness mental health advocate, and for just around 5 years, I've been advocating with my BFF, a 60-year-old Volkswagen Beetle Herbie the Love Bug replica. A lot has changed in the time that I've been doing this. I was younger then, obviously, as you were too. I was married, since divorced. I am affianced now. I moved to a different neighborhood. Finances have taken a hit. My body has taken a hit. And I'm going on a trip with you and him to hopefully try to figure out if I want to do the thing that everybody tells me to keep doing, which is keep going. Who will throw open the gates of love? Who will throw open the gates of love? I just don't know. I don't know if this can be a forever thing. And so I'm going to take a long drive with him and be meditative and contemplative and see some friends along the way, Veronica and Kit. My friend Sarah and my friend slash pen pal or slow pal, so typewriter Greg. And talk to them, and more than talk to them, listen to them, and hope to gain a little bit of insight from them, and see if we can figure this all out together. So, the physical part of this has to do with my left foot, which, as anybody who drives a stick shift car knows, that's your clutch foot. Around a year and a half ago, I rolled my ankle because I was born built all wrong, and I've got the flattest feet that my orthopedist has ever seen. And weak ankles or whatever, I rolled the ankle and I ripped my PT tendon. And I don't have the money to fix it. So I have really shitty health insurance, and because this is America. And shifting isn't fun. I mean, I don't really like driving a manual anyway. I know it's sacrilege to say that, but in the last film I made, I think I did too much talking. So in this one, I'm going to try to just shut the fuck up. Also, do you like my hat? I like when people ask me if I'm a train conductor. They're usually wearing like a pro ball cap. And it's like, no, do you play for the fucking Phillies? How are you? I've noticed. So, can you just tell me your name?
Veronica.
Okay.
It's one of my earliest memories. I remember being in the local Blockbuster.
I remember those places.
Yes, they were real. They happened. Yeah. And this was before the Lohan movie came out. So I was walking through and I saw the cover to the original one with the, the car. Herbie skipping across the lake, and I was like,
Herbie Jesus.
Yeah. And I was like, that's cool. I want to see what this is about.
You know, everybody fucking talks.
Yeah.
I know you're all fucking talking, so fuck you.
You definitely hit a breaking point where it's just like, damn, I kind of don't care. Like,
well, and that's part of the situation. Like, I'm in pain. Like, I'm in pain with my fucking foot. I'm like, I do feel like I'm burning out related to the advocacy work. The suicide awareness posts are getting less engagement. I just see it decreasing and decreasing and decreasing.
It's kind of sad. You feel the need to have a shtick for that kind of work.
Right. And it's like, oh, well, you got to do reels if you want to be on Instagram. I don't want to. I don't want to. We've talked about, you possibly taking possession of him if, I decide to do that. What would that mean to you?
Oh my God. A lot. I don't know if you saw my post about when I graduated school. I was like, what now? And I had to set my next big goal for myself. And that was to have a Herbie of my own. And, I've wanted that since I was like 4 years old. And I remember being like a preteen on my mom's computer, scouring eBay, looking at Herbie replicas. Before they all shot up and down.
Yeah.
Classic Bugs be like. I don't know. That would be insane. It would be wild.
All right. My first question is, where the fuck is my coffee? So, can you just introduce yourself for the record?
For the record, yes. I'm Erin.
Who are you? What is happening?
Sorry.
That's okay.
How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
We're good. But when I looked out the window, I saw you're like, I'm outside. I saw her because you could see through there.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, you look a little different. But then you were
Well, things change,
Yeah.
I'm tired. Like, I'm fucking really tired. And I feel a lot of shame and guilt, even thinking about it. I almost can't say it. Selling Herbie, like it's like it feels dirty. It feels like a gross thing.
I actually viewed you as with Herbie. It's not like I could see you outside the car, but it's also this bit of magic that you brought to the world. So you are associated like with this kind of magical element, like this like really creative way to get people to think about suicide prevention and allow people to approach a topic that's really hard to talk about in kind of like this, dare I say, magical kind of way. It's kind of like this, like a very like safe spot, and that's how I always viewed it. Just like a little bit of sprinkling a little bit of magic in the world. But if you're tired and you're having all this burnout and it's not enjoyable for you, and you're not the car, you never were the car.
Right. As far as I know, I'm not a car.
No. Beep, beep.
Yeah. I feel like it sometimes.
No, you were never the car. You were never the car. And I think, like I know we talked about my podcast, and that does bring me enjoyment, but I will tell you once, I used to be Erin, the soccer player, and when I hung up my soccer shoes, I felt like a heartbreak. Like my spikes, I played my last game. It wasn't that fun for me anymore in college. It became more of like a job. I'm like, man, my joy, the love I got from this game, and I was recruited to play soccer in college. It was like my big, massive part of my identity. But I remember when I hung up those cleats and I said, I'm not going to play anymore. Oh, it was like this horrific heartbreak.
Did you know, what was the lead up to that?
It was I wasn't enjoying it.
Every time it feels like putting your hand to a stove,
Yeah. But who are you?
I don't know.
You do know. I mean, you're not Gabe and Herbie. Like,
right.
So who are you? Like, because that's not who you are to me.
Yeah.
Like, when I call you, I'm not like, okay, I'm calling Gabe and Herbie.
Right. It's that identity. It's Instagram followers.
Yes.
And like that's what my name is next to the picture. It's Gabe and Herbie.
Right.
And so really, I think I'm most confronting this twosome that I've created for other people.
Yeah.
And it really, to speak to what you were saying about soccer, like I was doing it for other people.
Yeah. Because you feel like you're letting people down.
Definitely. And not only just letting people down, but like letting suicide loss survivors down, letting suicide attempt survivors down. But when I know in my heart, they would say, Gabe, you have to take care of you.
Yeah.
And, Herbie and I have done a lot.
Yeah.
And I will continue to do what I do.
Yeah. And that's one thing with your advocacy, by the way. One thing you do very well that doesn't involve Herbie is you go to groups that don't think like you. You're not into what I call in public health the preaching to the choir.
No, I can't stand it. It's my least favorite thing to do.
Yeah, the preaching to the choir. High five!
Yeah,
oh my God, you think you're just like me.
Yeah, no.
No, but what Gabe does very well, and he doesn't need Herbie to do this, for the record, this is the record.
Yeah.
He does go into different populations, different events, where folks collectively do not share the same necessary views that he shares, and he does try to get people to think about different things, and he can really connect. I mean, yeah, you risk getting punched in the face, but that's what you have to do.
It's happened to me before.
That's what you have to do, though. There's too much of this preaching to the choir stuff, and everybody's like sticking together. It's all sticky. It's too sticky. No, but what he does very well, and you don't need your car to do that.
Yeah.
You could take a train, you could walk. Yeah.
Skip.
You could skip.
They would love that.
Yeah. You could twirl, however you want to get there.
People in the 2A community would love me skipping into a room. Talk about means restriction. Uh-oh. I'm so glad that was captured. Hello. Can you just introduce yourself for the record?
Sure. My name is Greg Madison. I live in Portland, Connecticut. Longtime Volkswagen owner. Gabe and I kind of met because of our love of Volkswagens and typewriters.
Yeah. How did that? Who followed who first? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
I know that probably the first time we actually got in touch was when Sadie knocked your typewriter off the
Yes.
table.
Yes.
And you sent it to me to try and fix, and I wasn't able to fix it. But
And then you sent me the Royal Diana.
yeah, which got broken in transit.
Yup. And I brought that to Philly Typewriter. It was so funny. So, like, I was talking to my friend Stair. We were talking in Manhattan. We were talking about social media and how everyone makes it out to be like the boogeyman, and so it's really horrible. And I was like, oh, yeah, but, 2 out of the 3 people I'm meeting on this trip I met on Instagram. Veronica and Kit, of course,
Yeah.
and you. and Kay, my fiance, I met on Instagram, and so many lovely things have happened because of technology.
My favorite car when I was a kid was actually an MG, but that nostalgia, that connection to my grandfather, that always interested me. And I think it was in my early teens I started to realize, I'm like, you know what, I really like those cars. And I got my first one when I was 12. My father bought it from my grandfather for me, and it was just a field car that I was going to plan to fix up, and it was too far gone. It never happened, but it kind of ignited the interest, and I've always had a Beetle ever since then.
Have you had experience with something akin to that? Something that you loved very much, but had to give up? Someone, something, whatever, for the benefit of your mental health? Or,
you know, the age that I'm at, I'm 56 years old. I'm going to be retiring within the next 10 years. Eventually, I'm going to have to divest myself of all this stuff anyway. Honestly, driving out here, I would have had more fun driving my 2013 Jetta, you know, with my Bluetooth and, you know, my cruise control and
supportive seat.
Yep. It's just, you know, and this is not necessarily the kind of trip that I think this car is made for anymore.
Right.
You know, it's, if I was doing, you know, even a 3 or 4 hour back road tour in the car, I'd be fine with it. But grinding along the highway with other people going 90 miles an hour and I'm going 65. And
we're doing the windshield.
Yeah, the wind and the, you know, I'm basically driving a, you know, a antiquated tin can. I run into the same thing with the house. You know, the house is even worse because I'm always doing projects on that are hours long. And so I'll be up on a ladder, you know, scraping paint all day and be like, you know, it's a beautiful day out and I'm here doing
Are
this.
you ever like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm like, you know, I know why I started doing it. You know, I like old things. I like to preserve things. You know, I definitely have an idea about what I like as far as aesthetics. And so I'm like, you know, I don't want a house with vinyl siding. I want a wood house. If I have to paint it, I have to paint it. But then when you actually have to start doing it, then you're like, you know what? Kelly will say all the time, she's like, you know what? If anything ever happens to you, I'm moving into a plastic condo. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I get it. I get it a little more. You know, there may be something that's lost aesthetically. Yeah. But, you know, what else can you do? You know, what else could you be doing with that time? You could be doing something fun, and, you know, we only have so much time on Earth, you know? You know, you just start to question, you know, is this really, you know, what I want to be doing? You know, I could be doing something else.
And the fact of the matter, too, is that whatever it is, whether it's the house or owning this or your Herbie or mine, we've done it. The question is, do we need to keep doing it?
Right.
That's really what I'm asking myself.
Yeah.
Like,
I have made my decision to part ways with Herbie. I can't believe how hard it is to still say it. You know, this has been coming for a while, and the trip that I took to help me answer the question really helped, actually, to answer the question. You know, I took him from 53 years old to 60 years old. It's a lovely amount of time that we had together, and we got to grow so much together. I think about Herbie and what he has brought to others and what he's brought to me. On the positive side, obviously there is love and joy and hope and meaning and connection to so many people who I don't know that I would have met without him. But I will also be leaving the not so lovely parts of our partnership. And, you know, this car that I have made into this like mental health awareness and suicide awareness thing causes me a significant amount of stress and anxiety. Is he going to start for the event that I have today? Is he going to break down? Is he going to break down at 4:05 on a Friday after my mechanic has turned the lock in his shop and has gone home? If you're ready, I'm ready. Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. As many of you know, I used to work at a locked psychiatric hospital, and I approached every day going, I've just got to get through today without getting assaulted. If I can just make it through, if I can just get to the weekend, if I can just make it another month, if I can just make it another year. And it didn't happen. I had set the goal for myself to get out before I got hurt, and it didn't happen. Excuse me while I have a flashback. I'm able to say I've made it here. I've had some really close calls with this car. And I made some really dumb choices with this car in terms of going out in weather that I knew I shouldn't have gone out in, road conditions, taking highways. I've done some really dumb things. Actually, some of them very recently, like on the way back from this trip. And I made it. And I'm done. When he leaves that carport for the last time, you think about what will be left. And the answer is me, right? And when something is too closely aligned with your identity, it really does lock you into that. You know, Gabe and Herbie is this inextricable partnership. And you really start to feel boxed in by it, even if you've created it, right? And so I think maybe the loveliest thing about this transition is that I'm gifting myself the opportunity to change. And we have to be allowed to do that as human beings. We have to be allowed to change. Because whether you like it or not, or whether you know it or not, you are changing all the time. And if you're still shackling yourself to some kind of identity that doesn't serve you anymore, then you're continuing to change, but you're being held either in place or back by this thing, right? And that's negative. That's going to have a negative impact on your physical well-being, your mental well-being, all of it. And you're going to start to resent the thing. And I have. And I don't like that, and I don't want that. I don't want to resent him. I want to love the love bug forever. And not feel indignant towards him that he's constraining me or harming me. I want my foot to be able to heal. I want to have that opportunity to not wake up every day in pain. And I'm excited to explore what's left. Gabe. Today's the day. I'm ready. In every sense of the word, I'm ready.
Maybe if you came about,
So one last time,
maybe
let's go to work.
Turn this ship around. If you waited this one out,
Should we talk about where Herbie's going now?
just put
do you
your
think?
head down.
Hey.
Ooh, in your dreams you find out.
I am very happy
Though it's not quite how you
and very lucky to let you know that Herbie is going to Veronica. And I am so excited about this for so many reasons. V is extraordinary as a human being, as a car aficionado, as a Herbie freak of the highest order and magnitude. There's so much that she and I share, and so much of her heart, her big, wonderful heart, is so aligned with Herbie's. Bye. Okay, that's fine. I don't take it personally. Jesus Christ. V is the perfect custodian for this little love bug. And, you know, V has big plans for him. And I'm so excited to see their relationship evolve and grow and change. It's a joy to live relatively close to her, you know, so that I can see my old friend in the steel, as they say. It's an absolutely wonderful thing. V has the technical know-how to be the best possible caretaker for him for this next stage in his life.
Baby, don't you run this ship aground. Feed a
It's how it's supposed to be.
water in the well, but you can't keep her
It's how
head
it's supposed to be.
down. You can't keep her head down.